Good morning. This morning, I'm going to discuss about laws of exponent. Learning competency. Derive the law of exponent. What do we mean by derive? Derive means to obtain some basic information regarding the law of exponent. Good morning. Before we will proceed to our topic, we will first check your attendance. So open your cam so that I can see you. So please say present if I call your name and open your cam. Reminder, always follow the health protocol set by the DOH. Always wear face mask and face shield. Sanitize your hand with alcohol. Always wash your hand with soap and water and follow social distancing. As you can see, I give you some problem. So you will try this problem. So examine properly if you can solve the given problem. So if not, listen attentively to my discussion in order for you to understand the lesson and be able to solve this problem after I've discussed the lesson about the laws of exponent. So before we will discuss about laws of exponent, so you must first know what is the meaning of exponent. Exponent. Exponent is a symbol written above and to the right of the mathematical expression to indicate the operation raising to. Today, I will discuss 4 laws of exponent. First is product of power, power of power, power of product, power of a quotient. Please listen attentively in order for you to understand what I will be discussing today. Thank you. The first law of exponent that I will discuss to you is about product of powers. For any real number x and any positive integers a and b, when you are multiplying two terms that have the same base, you can just add their exponent to find your answer. So it's applicable only to the same base. So if you are multiplying with the same base, so you will just add the exponent. For example, x multiplied by x raised to the third power is equal to x raised to 1 plus 3 or x raised to the fourth power. So saan nanggaling yung 1? So understood that the exponent there sa variable x is 1. No need to write the exponent if the exponent is 1, indivisible 1. Next example, m raised to the second power multiplied by m raised to the third power is equal to m raised to the second power plus 3 or m raised to the fifth power. So as you can see, the same base. You are multiplying with the same base, then you will just copy the base, then add the exponent. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Next example, y raised to the n power multiplied by y raised to the second power is equal to y raised to n power plus 2. So as you can see, between n and 2, there is an operation plus. Kasi sa product of power, you will just add the exponent. So take note class, sa product of power, you will just add the exponent. So it is applicable only power of a product. For any real number x and any positive integer a, we use the power of a product when we are more than one variables being multiplied together and raised to a power. The power of a product rules tell us that we can simplify a power of a power by multiplying the exponent in keeping the same base. So in this situation class, sa power of a product, we just multiply the exponent. So because it is more than one variable, so we distribute the exponent to all the terms or variable given in the problem. So for example, close and parenthesis x raised to the second power y close and parenthesis raised to the third power. So the exponent 3, you will distribute that to all the exponents given sa base. So how many terms are there? So x and y. So x raised to the second power multiplied by 3. So the result is x raised to the sixth power. Y raised times 1 times 3 is equal to 3. Understood that the exponent of y is invisible 1. So 1 times 3 is 3. So your answer is x raised to the sixth power, y raised to the third power. Next example. Close and parenthesis a raised to the second power, b raised to the fifth power, c raised to the third power, close and parenthesis raised to the second power is equal to a raised to the fourth power, b raised to the 10th power, c raised to the sixth power. So the exponent 2, you will distribute that to all the given terms in the equation. So we have 3 terms which are a, b, and c. So the exponent of a is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So a raised to the fourth power. So the exponent of b is 5. So 5 times 2 is equal to 10. So b raised to the 10th power. The exponent of c is 3. So just multiply 3 times 2. So is equal to 6. So c raised to the 6th power. So class, sa power of a product, you will distribute the exponent to all the given terms in the equation. So just multiply their exponent to find the last law of exponent I will discuss to you is power of a quotient. Power of a quotient for all integers a and b in any non-zero number x. There are 3 cases of power of a quotient. Case number 1, x raised to the a power over x raised to the b power, where x raised to the a power minus b, where a is greater than b. So in this case, or in this situation, the exponent of the numerator is greater than the exponent of the denominator. So your answer will be x raised to a minus b. So you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the numerator to the exponent of the denominator. That is case number 1. Case number 2, x raised to the a power over x raised to the b power, where 1 over x raised to b minus a, where a is less than b. So in this situation class, the exponent of the numerator is less than the exponent of the denominator, or the exponent of the denominator is greater than the exponent of the numerator. So your answer class will be a fraction. So the numerator will always be 1, and the denominator, you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the denominator to the exponent of the numerator to find your answer. So yun lang yung tatandaan nyo sa case number 2. So your answer will be a fraction, and the numerator is always 1. Case number 3, x raised to the a power over x raised to the b power, where a is equal to b is equal to 0. Any exponent raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, in this situation class, the exponent of the numerator and the exponent of the denominator are the same. So if you are subtracting the same number, the result is 0. Take note in class, any variable or any number raised to 0 exponent, the result is 1 or it is equal to 1. For example, case number 1, x raised to the 4th power over x raised to the 2nd power is equal to x raised to the 2nd power. So as you can observe, the exponent of the numerator is greater than the exponent of the denominator. So your answer will be x raised to the 2nd power because you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the numerator to the exponent of the denominator. Case numbers 2. X raised to the 2nd power over x raised to the 4th power. So, as you can observe in the situation, the exponent of the numerator is less than the exponent of the denominator, or the exponent of the denominator is greater than the exponent of the numerator. So your answer will be a fraction. So your numerator is always 1. In your denominator, you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the denominator to the exponent of the numerator. So your answer is 1 over x raised to the 2nd power. So yung base is x, copy the base, and the numerator is always 1, so put 1 to the numerator, then subtract the exponent of the denominator, which is 4, to the exponent of the numerator, which is 2. So the result is 2. Next case, number 3. X raised to the 4th power over x raised to the 4th power is equal to x raised to the 0 power, or what? So as you can see in this situation class, the exponent of the numerator and the exponent of the denominator are the same. So 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So if you are subtracting the same number, the result will be 0. So as I said before, or I said earlier, that any variable or any number or literal coefficient raised to 0 exponent, the result will always be 1. Okay class, before I will give you some problems, so we will have first a recap about our lesson. So I have some question for you to answer. What is exponent? So exponent is a number written in the upper right side of the base. It indicates how many times the base is multiplied by itself. What are the laws of exponent? First law of exponent is product of power, power of power, power of a product, power of a quotient. So can you explain each law of exponent? Yes. So the first law of exponent is product of power. So it is applicable to the same base. So you will just add the exponent. Next is power of power. So sa power of power, you will just multiply the exponent because the exponent is raised to another exponent. So you will multiply the exponents. Sa power of a product, you will multiply the exponent, but the base is more than 1. So you will distribute the exponent to all the given terms in the given equation. So you will multiply the exponent to all the given terms in the given equation. Next is power of a quotient. So the power of a quotient, there are 3 cases. So the first case is the exponent of the numerator is greater than the exponent of the denominator. So, you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the numerator to the exponent of the denominator. Second case, the exponent of the numerator is less than the exponent of the denominator, or the exponent of the denominator is greater than the exponent of the numerator. So your answer will be a fraction. The numerator is always 1. In the denominator, you will copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the denominator to the exponent of the numerator. Third case is the exponent of the numerator and the exponent of the denominator are the same. So your exponent will be 0. So as I said, that any variable or number raised to a 0 exponent, the result is always 1. So are you ready, class, to answer this given question? So I've given you problems about product of power, power of power, power of product, and power of a quotient. So you will apply what you have studied about laws of integers. Okay, for example, x raised to the 8th power multiplied by x raised to the 10th power. So you will just copy this base, then add the exponent. So it is applicable to the same base if you are multiplying terms with the same base. Okay, next. P multiplied by p raised to the 4th power is equal to p raised to the 5th power. Why is it that your answer is p raised to the 5th power? So because, class, as I said earlier, that the exponent of p is invisible 1. You don't need to put the exponent 1 if the exponent is 1. It is understood that the exponent is 1. Next example, w raised to the 4th power multiplied by w raised to the 6th power is equal to w raised to the 10th power. So the base are the same, so you will just copy the base, then add the exponent. So 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. Next example, power of a power. So sa power of a power, the exponent is raised to another exponent, so you will multiply the exponent. So x raised to b raised to the r power is equal to x raised to b r. X raised to 4 times 2, so you will just multiply the exponent, which are 4 and 2, because it is raised to another exponent, so you will multiply the exponent, then copy the base. So the base is x, the exponent is 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So x raised to the 8th power. Next problem, x raised to the 5th power raised to the r power. So your answer will be x raised to 5r. So as you can see, there is no operation between 5 and r. So understood that the operation there is multiplication. Next problem is power of a product. So sa power of a product, we will just multiply the exponent, but distribute the exponent to all the given terms in the equation. So you will multiply the exponent of the terms of the equation. For example, I close in parentheses m raised to the 3rd power y close in parentheses raised to the 4th power. So m raised to the 3rd power times 4 is m raised to 12th power. Y understood the exponent is 1, so 1 times 4 is 4. So y raised to the 4th power. Close in parentheses x raised to the 2nd power, y raised to the 3rd power, z raised to the 4th power, close in parentheses 2. So class, how many terms are given in the given situation? So there are 3 terms which are x, y, z. So you will multiply the exponent to all the exponent of the given terms. So x raised to the second power multiplied by 2, the result is x raised to the fourth power. Y raised to the third power multiplied by 2, so the result is y raised to the sixth power. Y raised to the fourth power multiplied by 2, so the result is z raised to the eighth power. Next problem is all about power of a quotient. So x raised to the fifth power over x raised to the third power. So it is case number 1. So the exponent of the numerator is greater than the exponent of the denominator. So you will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the numerator to the exponent of the denominator. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So x raised to the second power. Next example. X raised to the third power over x raised to the fifth power. So your answer will be a fraction. So the fraction, the numerator is always 1 in the denominator. You will just copy the base, then subtract the exponent of the denominator to the exponents of the numerator. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So 1 over x raised to the second power. Next problem. So x raised to the fifth power over x raised to the fifth power is equal to x raised to 0 power. So as you can see, the exponent of the numerator and the exponent of the denominator are the same. So if you are subtracting the same exponent, so the result will be 0. And take note in class, if the exponent of the variable and exponent of any number is equal to 0, so the result is 1. Okay, so you will have a problem to answer. Direction: fill in the blanks with the correct answer. Apply the law of exponent in finding the answer. So you will just fill in the blanks with the correct answer and apply the law of exponent we have studied in answering this given problem. Direction: answer the following. Apply the laws of exponent in finding the answer. So you will be the one to answer this question. I will give you 10 minutes in answering these questions. Good luck! And for your assignment, study and master the law of exponent, power of product, power of power, product of power, and power of quotient. Also research about how to simplify negative exponent. Thank you for watching and listening, and for giving time listening to our lesson. I hope you have learned about how to derive the law of exponent. See you on my next video.